This dynamic warm-up is going to work the entire body. You'll have 6 exercises and 5 minutes of work here. We're going to start with 30 seconds of a cat camel. Starting in our tabletop position, hands stacked underneath the shoulders, knees stacked underneath the hips. We're going to drop that belly button down to the ground, looking towards the ceiling, working the shoulders. Then drawing the belly button up, trying to get that spine nice and big. Next up, we're going to go back to that tabletop, 30 seconds per side of a thread to needle, reaching over top, bringing that arm underneath to stretch out the shoulder. You'll have 30 seconds on one side, then you'll go to the other. Next up, we have a high plank. We're going to push into a downward dog, keeping the legs straight, focusing on the calves and hamstrings as well as the shoulders. We're going to go back to the high plank. Now let's start walking our hands back to our toes for a standard walkout. This is going to work the hamstrings, glutes, and posterior chain. Next up, we've got our 5-point squat. We're going to start with a forward bend, bringing our hands underneath the toes, dropping into the squat to get chest nice and tall. One arm up, then the next, driving through the heels back to our starting position. Then we're going to mix things up, 30 seconds of a power skip. This is going to lightly elevate your heart rate. 6 total exercises, 5 minutes. Let's get warmed up.
Felix, it is time for total body. You ready?
Let's do it, Joe.
Let's rock. We're gonna need 2 heavy objects and 1 medium object. 10 minutes long for the block. Goal is a minimum of 2 rounds. Our first exercise will be the ground to press. Grab onto your 2 heavy objects. Weights are gonna hang by your side. Squat down. With power, press those objects up over the head. Bring it down nice and controlled, reset and repeat. The option for this, either lighter weight or reduce your range of motion. Our second exercise will be body weight, the swing lunge. Reverse lunge on one side and then bring that foot forward into a forward lunge. Stay on that side for 5 repetitions and then switch to the other side for 5. Option for that, reduce range of motion. Our next exercise will be the bear plank walkout to alternating shoulder tap. So when we get into this bear plank position, we're on our tippy toes, knees are hovering. We walk forward into a plank. Tap one shoulder, tap the other, walk right back into that bear plank position. Option for this, we do the shoulder tap from the knees. Our final exercise is the single arm bicycle to chest press. So we grab our medium object, lie back, knees are bent at 90 degrees. If we're pressing with the left, the right leg goes out, pull the knee back in as the arm presses up and the leg extends. 5 on one side, 5 on the other. Option for this, tap the heel as you extend the leg. 10 minutes to work. Let's rock, y'all.
This block is a cardio block. It's going to last for 2 rounds at 10 minutes long. Your first exercise is going to be a push featuring a squat jack to alternating floor tap. So Joe is jumping those feet out. Your option here is to simply step in and out in a lateral fashion. Then you're going to take it into a base. We're going to active recovery. Doing a jumping jack, bringing that heart rate into that green zone. Next, we're going to go right back into that push, in which we have that 1-minute squat to alternating knee tap. So you're going to drop those hips and squeeze the core, elbow driving right to those knees. After that, we go directly into an all-out running man. You're getting into plank position, driving those knees forward, blowing the air out of the stomach, lots of explosiveness here, and keeping those shoulders over the wrists. After that, we're going to take a nice recovery and breathe. So we're going to rest, and then we're going to drive right back into those last 2 exercises. You're going to go into that squat to alternating knee tap, and then you're going to go into that push to all-out effort. So 2 rounds, 10 minutes long. Let's get to work.
Lindsay, you like a good value?
Of course.
All right, we're gonna get a heck of a value out of this one. We've got a lot of combination movements on this block. 8 minutes of work, 5 exercises we're gonna go through. Your goal is to get at least 2 rounds. You're gonna want 2 objects that are about medium weight here. We have water jugs for this. Starting with 10 total reps of an alternating reverse lunge to a lateral raise. Stepping back, dropping that back knee down to the ground, squeezing the shoulder blades to bring our objects to shoulder height. Bringing them back down, driving through the front foot back to our standing position. An option, you can always reduce your range of motion on the lunge. Next up, 10 reps of a deadlift to an upright row. Lindsay's feet are about hip width apart. She's popping the hips back, keeping the chest nice and tall, bringing the shoulders back. Then from there, bringing our elbows up to shoulder height, then back down. An option here, you can reduce the depth of your deadlift. Next up, 10 total reps of an alternating lateral lunge to a bicep curl. You can see we're heavy in the heels, chest nice and tall, driving back to our standing position, squeezing the biceps, bringing it back down. An option here, reduce your depth on the alternating lunge. Next up, we have our neutral full thruster, 10 reps, shoulders nice and tall, elbows tall, heavy in the heels, exploding up into an overhead press. Option here, reduce the depth of the squat portion. Now we get to bring those down. All right, we got 20 reps of a standard crunch. Feet are hip width apart, hands behind the ears, elbows nice and wide, neutral chin. Driving the shoulders up, contracting, bringing the belly button to spine, lower back in contact with the ground. Option here, reduce your range of motion. 5 exercises, your goal is to get at least 2 rounds. Let's get to work. You worked hard today, so you deserve this flexibility block. You'll have 7 total stretches that you're gonna hold for 20 seconds each. The first one, we have that overhead reach, moving from our side, 20-second hold per side, working the lats and obliques. Next up, we have a cross arm stretch. That's gonna work the shoulders a little bit more, 20 seconds per side. Next up, standing chest stretch, bringing the arms to a 90-degree angle, drawing the elbows towards the back of the room to open up the chest. Next up, we have an internal rotator stretch, bringing the hands behind the back, chest nice and tall. Then, taking one hand, grabbing that ankle for a standing quad stretch. Fun little tip here, if you touch the nose or the ear, it's gonna help with balance. But of course, if there's a chair nearby, go ahead and use it. Next, we have our kneeling forearm stretch. Fingertips facing the knees, pushing back on the hands, sitting back on the heels. You have 20 seconds there. Last but not least, we have our child's pose. So we're gonna go ahead, bring the toes together, knees a little bit wider as we press back, enjoy sitting back in the stretch. Good job today.
In the dark, in a room, I'm waiting on my own, and the dream seems so far away. Could it be you're waiting there for me? I just need